Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? Good evening. We're gonna get straight into this. I'm gonna turn off the music. Welcome to the Zoo, episode 2. Kind of rhymes, kind of sick. We're gonna transition here and let's get these boys brought up. So here we got everybody. We're gonna introduce everybody one by one, and we're gonna be bringing in one or two extra people. So let's open up and get this started.
I'll Photoshop your face on.
All right, what's up, guys?
What's up, baby?
So we're gonna start from top left to bottom right. Lou Sassel with Onion Gang. Say hello.
Hi, my name is Lou Sassel. I'm here for a few things. One, I'm one of the governors of Onion Gang. Two, I'm guaranteed to be in the bottom 10% of every war. And three, I just give pre-war speeches. So, thanks for everybody showing up.
Humble.
Actually true. All right, Ghostly Wolf from Fable.
Hey, what's up, Al? Thanks for stepping in. It's Ghostly from Fable. Technically I'm second in command, but I'm here stepping in for Jareth. He's got stuff going on tonight, so I'm here.
Cool. Kevin M from Dunder Mifflin Paper Co.
What's going on, everybody? Kevin from Governor of Dunder Mifflin.
Malcory from Avada Bank.
What's up?
What's
I
going on,
got
man?
nothing else to add.
You're good. Everybody knows you by now. They already started in the chat.
I bet.
Someone new. All right. So how do we say it?
Shaw.
All right, Shaw. What's going on? From Gaggle of Meese.
What's up? I'm the governor. Last time you saw Silt, this time you're seeing Shaw.
Sweet. Vladimir Gluten. What's going on?
Sir.
From Moats and Hose.
Moats and hose all day, baby. That's about it. That's all you gotta know. It's a fucking hose.
Not even gonna introduce myself because everybody knows me by now.
It's pretty fucking pretentious.
Yeah, true.
I've never met you in my life.
Yeah, okay, dude, that's a lie. McLaurin series from Unslotted. Is it onslotted or unslotted?
It's unslotted or onslotted. Whatever makes you feel better.
Listen, I like onslotted, meaning that you're turning over.
Oh yeah, I mean we are collaborators. We always have been.
True. And another new name, Nightmarin, representing. Who are you representing today?
Okay, dude. This night, TP. This should be an interesting night.
Should be a very interesting night. All right, boys. We are still waiting on one more, but we're just going to start, ask the first question, and then hopefully when he gets in here, we'll just introduce him and keep going. So, as you guys know, there was a pretty recent patch in about a week or two ago, which brought dungeon mutations to the, the end game, you could say. Just give your thoughts on what you think about the dungeon mutation patch and kind of where it has led the game towards, like what direction, and if you like it or not. So whoever wants to go, floor is yours.
Too soon.
Yeah.
That's what I think about it. Too soon. Necessary, but too soon.
Has any other company hit M10 other than mine? Or completed M10?
We did a 9.
You did a 9.
Does any other company care though? Because mutations,
That is fair.
they kind of suck. It's just a gear score check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think right now they're not getting your gear score to 625 isn't the most it's not gonna matter, but in a month from now it is gonna matter because I definitely noticed a difference in PvP just from having 619. But I mean, honestly, Laz, if your gear score was high enough that met the check, then it seemed like a normal Laz run, right? But I feel like they kind of messed up Dynasty because I just tried doing a tier 4 last night and it felt harder than a tier 8 Laz. Save your orbs. Their paranoia was one-shotting us, and we have 619, 620 gear scores. So I don't. Yeah.
It also doesn't.
Why would you run it? You can't even get 600s with 3 perks.
Yeah, save it.
You
just
have
hope
to
that
do
Amazon can't
I actually-
their gain properly.
So I actually like Dynasty over all the other dungeons because of the fact that it actually has mechanics that are decent, whereas Lazarus, the last boss, you're just fucking hitting it for fucking 20 minutes. Oh, is that
I don't know
Draco?
that that's really mechanics, but you have to actually...
I mean, it has more mechanics than fucking Lazarus, no?
I'm telling you, if there's one dungeon that I want mutated just to see people cry, is going to be Deaths. I would love to see Captain Thorpe just
True.
space jam.
Easily one of the best
Captain
enemies
Thorpe.
in the game.
Let's go.
Agreed.
Oh,
Commander
man.
Thorpe.
All
Yeah,
right.
he's wonderful.
Draco Frost just joined us. What's going on, Draco? Tell us who you're with and a little fun fact about you.
I'm with Garden of Eden, baby. That's what we doing. You know,
Hell yeah, Draco.
All right.
just avoiding metas and getting my ass beat on the daily. You know,
I think we're all in that fucking spot.
Yo, Draco kind of hot. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, so here's my take on this thing, right? I do think that the mutations are like, I don't know, they're like probably a 5 out of 10, right? So the things I don't like about it is one, like all they did was crank up the difficulty on the dungeons, but at least it's something, right? It's something to do. I mean, everybody plays like MMOs because they want to, well, not everybody, but most people play it because they like to chase the gear, chase the grind, have the high numbers. So like I get that completely. The things I don't like is like a company our size, it kind of like, we like doing everything together, as you may notice. That's why we're always like zerging you. But it breaks you into smaller groups, right? If one guy's not on, he kind of gets left behind a little bit, and there are ways to compensate for it. But I think it really hurts the open world PvP. Like I know that you could beat up the people in front of the door at Laz, like what was happening or on Dynasty. But I think it kills the open world PvP a bit. Like I feel like that's definitely fallen off a deep cliff. And I'm kind of looking forward to them adding Umbral Shards into the OPR, where I think that would, even though it's slower, I think I would like doing that more, right? Versus running the same dungeon 25, 30 times in a row.
Yeah.
You know, can we expand a little bit more on the topic of people killing others outside of
Sure.
the dungeons? Now, Corey, Lou, I think you guys, could you give us some comments on what happened?
You mean how it started?
Oh yeah, tell me how it started.
So I wasn't there, but from what I remember, I think it was Luciferius's group and a group from Fabled that just started killing. I think Fire's group was the first one. There might have been one before it, I don't know. From what I heard from Fire, they came out of a dungeon, him and some of the boys from Glitch, and they were just getting mobbed on by like 10 greens. So of course he hops in our company Discord and he's like, Fabled's doing this shit. So we all start teleporting over there, and it just kind of devolved to the usual, you have more numbers than us, let's call more numbers than you, to the point that eventually one side just gives up, basically.
So who won? Who were the winners? Morally or otherwise?
Morally, definitely not Fabled. Otherwise, is up to interpretation.
I guess, okay, so I'm in Fable, obviously, and I was there. I was a part of that. The way I see it is like, it's open world, right? Technically outside of Laz. Now, does a previous engagement in a different area in open world carry over to the next engagement where you meet each other in open world again? For one, you don't need to be flagged to do a dungeon. So if you're flagged and you're in open world,
Blasphemy.
I mean, there's a good chance you're going to get attacked. I mean, that's just part of the game, right? But, I mean, that's all it is, really. It's a grudge that's been had between us for a while, and we saw each other red in open world, and that's what happened. And honestly, I'm not really too butthurt about it either way. I feel like open world's open world. Sometimes you have numbers, sometimes you don't. You have to assess if you want to keep trying to fight. It's not like you're losing your gear. It's not like you're losing a territory. It's literally just for fun. Like I don't know why people take it so serious and get so mad about it, in my opinion.
I don't think anyone's actually mad or upset about it, but there's a difference between, fighting an open world and ambushing somebody 1v10 as they teleport out of an instance and then talking shit about it.
Well, what
So-
is it really
It's just
1v10
shit-talking.
when it
It's
takes
just
a 5
shit-talking.
stack to clear the dungeon? Also, like, I love how Fable gets blamed when there's always other greens besides Fable. It's usually like 4 to 5 people max, unless we're actually pushing something or defending something.
And I
Don't
did
worry,
mention
we're gonna
that
ask, we're gonna
Luciferius's
ask.
group was there first, before I mentioned you guys, because I don't remember. I know you were there when we teleported over, but I don't remember who else from your company was there. But I do remember seeing like Emmy, Alice, and I think it was Gimme. I think Gimme was there. I can't remember.
Well, it doesn't matter who was there. I think we need to get to
Right.
the heart of the matter, which is our Bonk and Fable kill on sight. Is that what's going on here?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
I mean, is everybody not kill on sight in open world?
Declaration.
Hold on, wait. You guys have a list of people you don't attack in the
Yeah,
open
what
world?
the
a little bit?
fuck?
Red,
Yeah,
that's
come on,
that should be
bro.
the topic we talk about. Like,
Red is dead,
that gets
baby.
the pass, dude. Yeah, if you're red, you're dead, right? And that's part of fun. Like sometimes you're going to be the hammer, and then sometimes you're going to be the anvil, right? Like I know numbers do have a big factor to it, but like you should just be killing everybody that's red, right? Like isn't that like kind of part of the game?
So that is my opinion. Pretty much, yeah. Red is dead. There have been a couple people in my company and from Purple in general that they don't want to attack people on treasure runs in Reekwater because they don't want it to devolve into just a constant battleground. People do that shit when they're working or when they're like mainly AFK. It's kind of an autopilot thing. And so I know that that's an opinion to some people is, depending on what you're doing, where you are, maybe you don't. For me, it's always res.
I'll tell you something right now. If I'm by myself, open world, I'm not attacking anybody. If I have numbers, I'm so okay with that. I do not like a fair fight. I am very bad.
Yo, that's the
There
most
is
honest
no
shit I
shot.
ever heard, bro. That's the most
Yeah,
honest shit I ever
everybody
heard.
in here is like, no, I'll fight anybody. And
There is no
Yeah.
shot. I'll give you a little friendly hop. I'll do something.
yeah,
I am not fighting you.
Friendly
one-on-one.
hop.
hold
bro.
up your axe
No
and
one
wave it
can-
side
no
to
shot.
side.
Couple crouches,
thing
bro. I
that-
feel that.
One thing that's kind of cool about like meeting people flags. So I'm gonna bring out a actual situation. Last night we were pushing. I'm in
Shaw,
Draco,
Shaw,
by the way.
can you move up so we can see your beard?
No, we're good.
So we can see
All
your
right,
beard.
so last night, us and Garden of Genesis, Garden of Eden, my bad. We're having a bit of a tussle outside of, actually at the Cutlass Fort. And after the fort was capped, we just kind of met up. We were all flagged. We're just chilling, and we just started having some group duels, basically. Like we were flagged, so we could have fought each other the entire time, but I don't know. We had a little bit of fun about it, and I feel like that's also a cool way to. I don't know. This is an MMO. There's lots of players. We're gonna kind of like, even if we're on the opposite sides, like
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a big
hate
part of the
anyone.
game.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that's
like I don't want to
that's
hate people in this game. I'm not coming here to just you're green, screw you. No, I'm not about that.
Yeah.
I think
So-
You don't want the
I think
David Nader
divide-
vibes?
I think the
Like-
divide happens like when no one cares if they get ganked on, right? But when it's like 10v5 and then the 10 go dogged on in global
Yeah, yeah,
chat,
yeah. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
that's like
It's always the shit talking that.
dogged on.
Yeah, yeah.
There was the other night where, or there was another morning this week that it was me and Scott Zerk. We were down there at the Pit Lord, and
I
Ghostly
remember
Wolf
that.
and another guy were over there. And I'm sitting there, and I come in there with my PvE set, and I'm getting hit by every freaking tentacle in existence over there. And I die, and he died, and we're all going back and forth, and it brings back a thing. That Pit Lord, if you want PvP, you just have to find someone farming that, and I swear to God, PvP will last for 2 hours there. It's
Yep.
one of those things that Squat will start off and say his little copy paste that he has of "we don't want the vegetable, bring the onions," and I live to see that thing.
Is that also the one where he was like, "Can I get a new healer in global?"
Yeah. I got roasted to hell for dying in there.
The amount of times that I've died just going to the Pit Lord for PvP is astronomical. It's so much fun though. Like just jump down from the top ropes, lose half your health, and then get fucking killed immediately. It's kind of funny.
That place is just the most tilting place for me because of how much just constant CC from all the mobs around
Yeah.
it you get.
Bro, I feel like as a healer down there, because I was healer spec at the time, dude, I was getting hit by every tentacle, every ghost. It was the most annoying.
All right, we're going off topic. Dungeon mutations.
Sorry. Yeah.
Fuck them
Nice fight,
things.
yeah.
Dungeon
Absolutely.
mutations suck. They're just a
Yeah.
gear score check, and Dynasty doesn't even drop legendaries.
Yeah.
Next
Laz
topic.
was good, but
I
Dynasty,
do
yeah,
I
yeah.
do wish that they would bring Umbral Shards to some kind of PvP. I mean, obviously they're
They
bringing it to I know it soon, but only to OPR, right? Whereas like if you killed somebody out in the open world, what do you think about them dropping shards?
Open world and wars. There needs to be
Okay,
almost
so I'm
shards
gonna- I'm
for
gonna-
wars.
Sorry about that. So I'm going to say something, right? Seems like chat really wants to know about the TPT, please.
Yeah,
so is
true.
it too early? Right, it's really up to Nightmarin, I guess. Can you give us the T?
Oh Jesus! So we're just starting it off.
I mean,
We just
listen,
start-
hold on, hold on.
That's what everybody is waiting for.
The
Let's
next
not
topic
waste
that I
time.
was going to ask was yellow swapping to purple. So if we just want to move to that, we can just go over to all this drama around purple.
I'd like to issue the initial statement, which is you know, with Kill Squad gone, we've been getting along very well with the other yellows, and I think it's about time for TP to figure out who the real problem was.
With your guys' wars have been pitiful since they left.
Hey, you know, you want to stack, but you're still 0-11.
Wait, is that Nightmare?
That is.
It is.
Oh, word.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
I've been to the thing where I've been in Yellow Wars before. I definitely think Kill Squad players were the better players of Yellow, in my opinion. But I mean, I also watched the Windsward War that happened a few days ago, and I mean, it definitely seemed like we had a better attempt at wars than what you guys have recently.
You also
So let me ask you a
have
question,
more
though,
practice.
Do you know you're 0-11 or no?
Wasn't it the same way that you guys were 0-15, 0-16 on?
It was like
20. It
was like 23.
I asked that, right? So it's always the other company that's not fighting the wars that knows what your record is, right? Like I don't even think about like, am I owing this? Am I owing that? Right? Like, do I have to push missions? Yeah, right. Like, do I have to fight wars? Yeah, but it's always the companies
I
doing
agree.
it
I mean,
that are like, yo, you're owing this, right? Well, all right. Well, you
no,
fucking
we
do it
definitely
then.
haven't won a war yet, but I feel like we're the people that are the closest at the moment of actually
got a settlement
getting there.
Yeah. I mean, you're playing the meta. You've got significantly more people than Yellow does. So, yeah. I mean,
there's
that's
the thing
a
that
lot of large
there's
numbers.
a fellow, I won't disclose the name, but there's a fellow in our company that he keeps on bringing up the fact that we have no, I mean, it's the thing that we have no room talking trash in chat, but it also, it doesn't make it as fun if there's not any sort of competition or any sort of thing where you can
100%.
bounce it off of each other.
I mean,
so
listen,
it's one of those things that like we're not gonna be completely shut off of the ooh, we're getting close, we've been in your fort, but it's one of those things as well that we can't rub it in your face yet because we haven't won yet.
Okay, Nate.
We have to tell you you're 0 or 1-11 or some shit, right? Like it's just the back.
It's the thing that I've been telling everyone. It's going to be exciting because if we do manage to win a thing, it's going to be the half of us quit to go play.
Salt chat's gonna blow the fuck up.
I know.
So that's another thing. Like when Onion showed up, we were talking mad shit, even just pushing territories. Like we went, Lou, what'd we go like fucking 19 where we actually
some
took
crazy shit.
Like we were just decking everything that we could, but it was only the middle three. It wasn't even the outers. So like the middle
simple,
three,
right? Like how the fuck are we going to get better at wars if we don't fight them, right? There's really no, like open world PvP is one thing, but there's nothing that is 30 minutes. Here's what you got to do 50 on 50. Like there's nothing else in the game that's close to that. Like you can't practice, right?
That was
I don't disagree with that, but the point remains that anytime Yellow decks a war and fights, we've got Purple, the new kill squads talking shit in global, and then when they get called out for losing, they say the same shit.
It's one of those things that I think attacking you guys would be really interesting in a sense, where if we were to go for Garden or go for Monarchs with the new kill squad people. But it's one of those things that from my view at least, is it really worth it to go for a territory that doesn't bring as much income as the big three when we've been so close from taking?
100K a week is more than zero.
Oh, sure, and I agree with that, but it's just one of those things. But if we attack it with the same company thing again, then we kind of mess ourselves up, because if we took X territory and then we're Wind Everfall or Windsward or something like that, we would have a same wartime, and it's just the thing that the onions don't do, where you have a same wartime on each territory kind of sense.
So you just let it go.
I mean, GG did that when we took when we were fighting them.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's one of those things that
it was
like,
just what to do on the server. So it was kind of like, all right, well, I guess we have to do it now.
It's one of those things like people. I mean, there's still the thing that First Light and I think First Light never fall still at the same time. I mean, it's one of those things that if truthfully, if like the best of Yellow and we were to attack at the same time, one of those territories would have to either sacrifice or both of them would hold out. Just because onions have so many numbers, it probably could work out for them. But I think that if you really wanted a shot on taking either one of them, it would be putting pressure on both of those. But I'm not sure what's going on right now with that.
Well, didn't you guys do that last week?
Three times back to back.
And
it was the thing. It was the thing as well that I saw in chat that it was literally no offense, this is not to piss off anyone, but someone put in chat it was B team versus B team, and that one was just like, oh gosh,
that's fucking cringe.
Well, hey man, that's fine. Doesn't matter. There's no skin off my back. I'm gonna go all out in the war anyways, so whatever.
But at the end of the day, it is just another company versus another company.
So TP and Onion Gang have more in common than you think. So like when we got here, we had the same perspective. Like, could we go take a lesser territory by definition? Probably, but like it wouldn't. We have a lot of mouths to feed, right? So like having a territory that brings in, and yes, 100,000 is a lot more than nothing, but it wasn't what our goals were, right? Like our goals were we want to take the big three, regardless of how many chances or how long it took. And
Right.
you know, we were able to accomplish it, but it wasn't easy, right?
No.
It took a lot of fucking time to do it.
Well, and that's the thing with us is like, I don't find it as useful like for us to own a Ebon Scale Reach or a First Light or something
Maybe
like
in the
that.
future
would
when they
be-
expand, right?
Right. Maybe something like that if there's an expansion. But right now, I mean, we want to go. I mean, just in my thing and how, especially how a lot of us are, is we're war junkies at the end of the day. We want to go for the best PvPs and all that. And that's the thing that really sucked when Kill Squad lost Everfall is we loved to go against Kill Squad because we got stomped by them every time. They were in our back line destroying us, and it's one of those things that it's almost like, God, I want to keep on fighting that to see what's going on. That's why we like fighting Onions so much, because
Because I'm
they're
always in the
so
back line
good,
chasing
and,
your bitch
and,
ass.
and no, the 2-minute clip of you chasing me was the most tilting thing of that war. But it's one of those things that like it almost it brings more enjoyment and war sense when you're going against the top people, especially if you're getting that close, because it's almost like an addiction. Like, oh, we're so close, we have to get there, kind of.
That's
sense.
literally what happened to us. We just kept pushing,
Right.
and then just like the next time that you go against him, you take 2 points instead of 1. You're like, holy shit!
And with,
then you take
with
3. And it's
How,
just like,
sorry, with how the wars are right now, I mean, it's not going to be a one and done attack scenario. I mean, with how defensive heavy these wars are, you guys talked about it last podcast. Is I think that it will take multiple attempts, and we'll get there maybe, but it's one of those things that it's going to take some experience, and especially with Kill Squad coming over, it's going to take new adjustments.
yeah.
Do you think that purple will last that long without a schism?
Without a what?
A schism, breaking apart, having internal squabbles.
So we might as well get the elephant.
Yeah,
out of
we
the
heard
room
we
now.
heard some
Let's
little
talk
topics.
about
Some rumors, and I'd love to hear
That's what
more.
I'm here.
Lou, your
I'm not
cam
going
turned off.
I'm not going to give you guys the pleasure of the full story. I'm sure
Nah,
you guys
come
have
on,
seen the
dude.
screenshots, and that's
Mhm.
wonderful if you have. Yes, there was some conflict. Yes, there was some drama arose, and I know Scav's Twitch chat has been going crazy for it as well. At the end of the day, nothing's going to happen. Drama is over, and we are just fine. We may have some people
That's
that
a
are
big
one-sided on other
dodge.
things, right? And it is, because I'm not going to give you guys the benefit of the doubt of saying, "Oh, TP is over," because it's not. I mean, we're still here. Some of us may be a little bit more burnt out with others, especially with how New World is and they're developing recently. I mean, all of us are. I mean, there's still Onions that are going to Lost Ark. There's still some of us that are doing other things. With how Amazon done, they've done not a very good try, or not a very good attempt. But it's one of those things that the drama is not completely over. There's still some drama, but it's one of those things that it's not as bad. And if people are hoping for a split, it's not going to happen.
So the drama's over, or the drama's not over?
There's lingering drama, but it's not what it was. And
Yo,
it's
Nessa Quick said,
Night,
good
yeah, I
eye
was
frame
just
on
about
that
to-
question, Night. Good eye frame on that question.
good iframe on that question.
She's got a point though.
That's Quick's the person that's
Man,
still rocking.
should I direct any further questions to your PR firm?
I mean, you can think what you want. You can say what you want. At the end of the day, it's one of those things that I'm not going to give you guys the benefit of the doubt on the whole drama situation. You guys have seen the messages.
I mean, listen, we just want the salt, man. That's it.
And
Don't care about
as much
anything
as I would
else.
love to give you the salt, it wouldn't look good from our side of things. And it's one of those things that
Just gonna add some more.
I don't think that it would be beneficial, because it would add more drama to our own company. And at this point, I think that we
Everybody
need to
boo him. Boo him in chat.
bring no more drama in a sense.
Did you guys always have drama, or was this just like
No,
a new thing that
it's
happened?
something that's just recently came up. Honestly,
Oh.
we've
Like
always
when-
been a good company since the old Bidblane days.
So like the new company joined the.
It didn't
Okay.
really even start on that. It started, truthfully, it started with me, and that's the thing, is the Kill Squad thing. It didn't start the drama. The drama's
They're booing you.
Yeah, I know. They
Can I
can.
get it on record that you started Treasury Pillagers, Nightmare?
I didn't start Treasury Pillagers.
You didn't?
You said it started
No.
with you, though.
It did start with me because I was the one that brought up the case, and that's what started everything. But no, I wasn't the one that started the drama with the company. No, or sorry, I wasn't the one that started the company. That was Lethal that started it.
Can I
may
ask a
have been
more
one of
specific question though to you? So
Oh,
now
fine.
when you bring in a group like Kill Squad, obviously they came with probably like 10, 15 people, I imagine.
Something like that.
How does the rest
Heard
of
more.
your members that maybe were like fringe players that now can't get into a roster, like, is that upset them, or like how does that work, right? Because there's always
at the
some
end of the
growing
day,
pains.
it's one of those things that yes, it sucks if like we were. I mean, it's one of those things that we used to have the player base that we could slot our own wars. We were slotting our own wars when we first started here on the server. The server kind of got in a crappier state. Like the game got in a crappier state. It's one of those
It's not
things that we
about me,
found it
man.
tricky to be able to file our own wars. So
Not about me,
we
Nate.
started filling in Adabonk. We started filling in Kill Squad, and one of those things. And it's one of those things that it sucks that if we do replace players because there's other players that have performed or have a history, but it's one of those things that it's one of those things that at the end of the day we all want to win and we all want to benefit on having a territory. And I think a lot of the members that are sat out on the wars are some of the people that don't have any room in the war. I think they're okay with it, and it hasn't caused any drama. The drama is on a completely different situation, and it has started from me, and it's done now.
You guys are cool.
It is fine. Yes.
Nice.
Is it true that you got demoted?
It is true that I got demoted.
Is
yes,
that
but
why the drama happened?
No. It's the thing is I've been offered to go back into the console group, but I have decided that it's best me not be in the console
hi,
group.
thanks for checking in. I'm
If
still
you
a
guys
piece
want
of
the summary of
garbage.
it, they did offer it me back. This drama could have been done a lot quicker, but I decided that it would be best for me not to join it back.
Can we ask why you chose not to accept it back?
See, I'm not gonna really disclose the information there because it's just gonna cause more drama if I really start it because you guys are.
But that's what the people are here for.
Keep
Yeah,
trying.
exactly.
Keep trying. We're doing it.
Oh.
Keep trying, guys.
Slowly.
You guys are
tell
gonna
me
be
the drama's
crackheads, and you
over.
guys are gonna want more crack if you hear even more crack. And
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works.
Here.
Give me those salt
It's-
rocks,
That's
dude.
why
Give me-
we're here.
It's one of those things that at the end of the day, I'm no longer console, and the
hi,
TP
thanks for
leadership
checking in.
does their
I'm
own
still a
thing
piece
without
of
me.
garbage.
Without me there, and I trust that they can. I can trust that they can get everything done.
So
I
who
can
are
hear
the other
pain in your
consoles?
voice.
So the other consoles currently is going to be Lethal Pulses Gov. You have Delonzo. You have Heracles Buying Girlfriend. You have Captain Mata. You have Beazle. You have Cupcake. And you have... Who am I missing? I'm missing someone. Weedius Maximus.
So I do have to pull this out. Cupcake was a spy from the beginning when you guys first transferred, huh?
Oh,
Even though it's
guys.
no, I'm not a spy. I'm not a spy.
You guys are really giving me a shovel, and you're really wanting me to dig myself.
No,
a grave.
listen, I'm just saying, like,
Do it.
as much as she defended it, I could see that it was the thing, right? Like, we knew.
It was, and truthfully, I mean, if you want the honest answer, she didn't come to us and say, "Oh, Green's saying this, Green's saying that." Like, that's not how we played. It was her
No, she sent
patiently waiting.
screenshots instead.
Good old
It was
GG
her
way.
patiently waiting for her timer to go out, and it was one of those things that Amazon promised that, "Oh yeah, this should have been done already," and it was one of those things that we were constantly waiting. It's not one of those things that she was a spy.
Why do you keep blaming Amazon for all of your struggles?
Because
Is this
Amazon
Jeff
has been the
Bezos'
biggest
fault?
struggle recently. I mean,
This man was in space while we're
if the
fucking
game was in a good
implementations.
state, we wouldn't have people going to Lost. And tell me I'm wrong.
Well,
No,
that's
not
a
true.
blanket statement. You can't
Not
say
true.
just because somebody leaves to play something else, it's in a broken state.
I would
I'm
have
not
played
saying it's
Lost
the
Ark
greatest,
regardless.
I'm gonna go.
I
to
mean,
Lost Ark.
sure,
God
But-
of War, Dying Light. There's a bunch of games out there that aren't.
Sure,
really
but it's one of those things that the game developmental wise is they're doing better. I will give them that, and their communication, other than the mutation thing that's been going on recently, I think their communication has been great. But it's one of those things that it's sad to have the expectation of, oh god, an update's coming out. What are they going to break next? That sucks.
True.
And that's what's
I agree with that.
not killing the game with me, but I wish that I didn't have that mindset and I would actually be excited for a new update, because that's the thing that when I see a new update like mutations, it's like, ooh, a really grindy in-game part of the game, let's do it. And it's like, oh god, what are they going to break? and Lazarus got put 2 days after what it was supposed to go away, and then we got the same exact mutation for Dynasty, which
So,
I'll go back and
and
say
then-
Dynasty is one of the worst freaking mutations that you
So I
can
have a
do.
question for you though. So when you guys started the company, right? Obviously, like you got your name. So how much treasure did a treasury pillager treasure if a treasury pillager could pillage treasuries?
I pillaged 25k.
Guys,
in
relax on
Earth.
the relax on the
Behind me.
spoilers.
Looking back on it.
I would do it over again, honestly. And you Onion folks can go to Splashy and you can ask him what his experience with the
Oh no, we
old
know.
APOC owner was, and
was
you should understand why I did so.
Why did you do it?
Why did I do it is because Lethal and I were running APOC before or during the time that Venom was not playing, and I felt like since we were doing that, we at least were owed that. And people disagreed with it. I don't really care what people agreed or disagreed with. At the end of the day, we were the people that were the last man standing.
Yeah, you just did him dirty like that?
And 25k, someone saying 25k is chump change. 25k in the early days of that, when a territory was only making 100k, was quite a bit of money.
Not only did he steal the shit, he said, even though you don't think it was a lot, it was a lot. Yo, that was the wildest follow-up I've ever heard in my
Imagine
life.
stealing from your guild and then bragging about it.
How dare me, dude.
Hey, at least he's honest about
Yeah,
it.
I was
You
gonna
respect
say.
the fact that, like,
You know,
he
I can
wasn't-
He's
respect
fucking
that.
honest. He's out here blowing his
Unreal.
heart out.
I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, I would do it again because at the end of the day, the old owner was a piece of shit, and we are past that, and we're who we are today because of it.
Do you think anybody?
So
in
you're saying you
console-
did start treasury pillagers?
No, I had there was a core group of us that had the idea of leaving it. And
Oh, you were the initial
core-
financial investor.
Yeah.
I was the initial financial
He was the
investor.
angel investor.
I
bro.
agree. I brought the funds to the group.
Knight, do you think anybody in the console would do it again to TP or? is it
No,
like
it's the thing that the only talks of splitting was around me, and I've made it clear to everyone that I have no intentions of splitting, and I would rather. I said it in my thing that I would rather see us destroy onions than see us both struggle.
so that's
and
why
it's
they
one of those-
demoted you, so you couldn't take out the money.
Well, here's the situation. They don't have a territory, so there's no money in the treasury.
Yo, they demoted
we-
his ass so he can't swipe right. I just,
Bro, that's
It all makes sense now.
Dude.
You guys are some big brain dudes. Let me tell you.
Holy fuck, dude. They're like, yo, hey, he's
200
got,
IQ, bro.
yo, he's on the fridge. I think we should take him off console because he's about to swipe this motherfucker right again. But the good thing is you have no territory to bring money in anyway, so you have nothing to worry about.
I mean, it's one of those things that what are we really truthfully spending money on other than wars? And with attacking wars, I mean, is there any true
Mutations.
benefit to?
I mean, you spent
sure,
I'm kidding.
75k declaring, right?
but well, it's the thing that
Way
there's no
more.
reason to spend that much money on attacking wars because the only upgrade you get on attacking wars is what, cannons? And so why is it worth it to spend 15k on attacking wars at that point?
Isn't your goal to win?
I mean, sure, but what is the true benefit of spending 15k over what is the minimum 5k, 3k?
75k.
7,500,
No one,
11K.
no one even
or...
puts cannons down. What's the point of having?
Oh,
True.
no, fucking TP puts plenty of motherfucking cannons.
Yeah, they put them all at
I
the
mean,
same
They
fucking
got
time.
fire spitters on every point they're gonna take. dude.
They're like, hey, we put 4 cannons down. Go, go.
Yeah, they use them motherfuckers. Believe me, they know. the
No,
numbers
I
'cause
mean,
they use
we
them.
do, but I don't find we've talked about it, and we don't find a worth to spend that much money on on a cannon upgrade when, truthfully, I don't see them being like they're helpful, yes, in wars, but I don't think they're game changing. I don't think they're absolutely busted in a sense like that.
I don't think going from 6 to 10 in particular would really be.
Oh, hi. Thanks
It is a big deal when you don't have an income.
Sure.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we went through a lot of things about treasury pillagers. One, you would definitely pillage treasuries again if you had the opportunity. Two, how you
Of
guys
course.
formed. Three, you have I felt like I was watching a football game. And at the end of it, they're like, well, what would you like to say about the game, sir? You're like, well, the competition was strong today, but we work well as a team, and we're going to continue to work hard together.
I
We'll look
literally
forward to next
messaged-
week.
dude, you
response
guys
to
are
what the
going to be
drama
amused
was.
by this because I told someone in the company, I told them I was going on the podcast, and they asked me what I was going to say on the scenario, and I said I'm going to play dodgeball the best I can.
I mean, you have to, right? Like,
Yeah, the drama doesn't.
is
need to be
that why
involved,
Lethal
like I
didn't
said.
show up?
I'm not sure why Lethal didn't show up. I didn't ask him about it. I said to you to ask him why, or ask him. Golly, my brain.
He's playing PoE.
I told you to
Never
ask
mind,
him why
that's
he
why.
didn't show up.
Yeah, he's
But
playing
I'm
PoE.
not
That's
sure.
fine.
I'm not. Yeah, he is playing PoE. I guess
Yeah.
PoE had some sort of update. I never played PoE. A new season, I think, is what they
So,
call it
so
there.
if you don't mind, I'd like to transition. So we've heard about purple and stealing members. I mean, gaining members and stealing
course.
treasuries. That part, both of them did happen. But the next thing I guess would be is so what's the state of what we would call new yellow then, right? So like we have new yellow representatives in here. So Kill Squad's gone. What's the deal?
I guess it's time to really give the backstory on the whole Kill Squad thing.
You're fucking yellow. No, it's not.
Yeah, we're talking about other yellow, not Yerple.
He says, "I'll take this one."
No, you guys are going to be curious about the Kill Squad thing. You guys have asked about it, and
We will
dodged
get-
it, but it's one.
Okay,
It's one of
so-
those things that I got Kill Squad in here because it was at the end of the day, some people are going to quit over a loss like that, and it's a shame to see good people quit over a loss like that because it sucks to see people quit the game because of just no motivation or any of that sorts. And giving them a new way to have motivation for the game that was my main achievement of bringing them here.
Instead of losing wars on yellow, you could lose wars on purple. They're like, yo,
True.
I never thought
Of
about
course.
that. So, but back to new yellow, right? So we've heard. So can I address the rumor, or you want to just like I'm going to address it anyway? So we
a
heard
rumor?
that most of yellow is merging together to create like a yellow super company. So like, what's the deal? Tell us.
I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. What about you, Matt?
Truthfully, me too.
That means you're
this
not
is
the
the first
super
thing
team.
I've heard about it
He's
too.
not in the super pack.
Is this new?
Am I not involved in this?
You're on the super
We,
pack.
hey,
What?
hey, Draco, we might need to get a new yellow,
Hey,
Get
yo,
better.
listen,
Be
What the-
better.
new yellow representative to join us.
Who's in this theoretical yellow super
Yeah,
team? Which guild are going to merge in?
We were hoping you would tell us.
10, it's the 10 people that are left from Dead Poets and I guess Rebellion.
Those are good people.
They are good people. Yes,
They're
they've been
good
very
guys.
kind to us.
Wait, is
That's
Draco?
just,
No,
that's just
McLaurin,
not
you're
much
yellow
of a
still,
super
right?
company if the only two other yellow companies in existence aren't aware.
Yeah, it's just a company.
It's just a company. I'm not out here calling anything a super company. I haven't even heard these rumors, to be honest.
Dead
Yeah,
Poets
this
isn't
is
here
the
at the
first time I'm hearing
podcast,
about
are they?
No,
No.
Okay.
They don't want to join.
Haha.
and neither will Regalia.
Yeah, they kind of have some bad
But-
blood with OG.
I think overall, Drago, you want to talk about how Yellow's been doing? I mean, Eden's been killing it lately.
Brother, I might be the wrong person for this. No, we dude, I mean, we have a defense tomorrow. Like, at the end of the day, like obviously we're Garden of Eden, we have Cutlass Keys, but we came in with, Advadabank, Unslotted, and we just kind of stick close to where we came from. We just like to play with our friends and do open world PvPs. I mean, to be honest, like there were a few people that did bring drama, but at the end of the day, we're all friends, and we kind of just like to enjoy the game for what it is.
So
And
can I
not-
ask you a question though?
What's up?
What's a smaller chance, right? Or what's smaller? I guess you guys taking CK or Don Jovito's nipples?
Taking
I've never
secret?
really given much thought to the size of Don Jovito's nipples, but it's comforting to know that you have.
I have them actually. So I had to change all of my wallpapers on my computer because I didn't want you guys to think different of me. But I have them, and it's not just one big picture. I have all of them at different points, right? Before he was a dad, after he was a dad, because I like to watch them progress. And did you know there's like one really long hair, and the rest of it have none? I bet you don't, because you don't have it as your fucking wallpaper.
I sure don't.
All right, so let's get back to the state of yellow and the state of purple.
I think Yellow's doing great right now. I think we're all getting along. We're having fun. We may not be as strong just because we've lost those numbers, but as we build back up, we'll be getting there.
And just yesterday, we were having like an all yellow tournament, just a bunch of friends hanging out. Like, I don't know. There are people on the server that take this game far too serious and like live, breathe, and die by this. But, it is what it is. I don't know.
The last question in chat was what that dick smell like, though. So does anybody
Okay.
want to make a comment on that?
No.
Sandalwood.
Sand.
All right. Do we have anybody in purple that wants to comment on the state of purple? Because right now it seems to be only TP and I guess I don't even know what the other company is. So I know Gagalamise is pushing.
Moats and
There's
hoes, baby.
right, but
Pain
I'm
in the
talking
ass.
about mostly pushing territories.
We're pushing
Right,
right
like
now.
right now. We didn't hear of anybody else attacking anybody, but
Moats and Hoes. So Moats and Hoes have been basically we came to the server from Anlang, and we had an alliance with Pimps Only and Gaggle and Mies. Pimps Only, shout out to Daddy Lover. He's in Gaggle now, representing the boys. But we didn't really have to follow the meta on Anlang. We just kind of went uncontested for quite a long time. I practically had Windsward for free. And it's I don't know, man. We got stomped by Onion Gang day 2 of the server merge, and instead of like pushing, like throwing something at a wall until it's stuck, we decided to get our money up, not our funny up, and we just kind of kept it low key for about a month until the holidays rolled over and everyone kind of came back. And we'll push things. We'll try a new meme. Our most recent endeavor into the meme verse was we did a war with 10 shields that we'll never do again. I actually don't even remember who we were fighting, but yeah, that idea's scrapped. We're not doing that. But I don't know, man. We're like we're a big company, and all of us want PvP, all of us want wars. But we just been kind of keeping to ourselves. And Mies pretty much just getting geared up and getting the lower guys geared up that kind of like just got unmotivated and left behind, trying to get them more ready. And it's hard. It's you can have 30 people who love PvP, but at the kind of going back to Nightmare's point from earlier, you know the idea is that you want to slot your own, right? Because you're going to have like 20 people who are like, why didn't I get in? And it's hard to tell people like, well, you're not good enough, or like your gear's shit or something. So
true.
we got everyone geared up, and now the only deciding factor is like, are you good enough? And I don't know, man. We've probably had like 3 or 4 wars now. It's hard. It's hard attacking.
Yeah, it is.
It's unmotivating. Big February changes are coming, hopefully, but at the end of the day, honestly, like I would rather take a territory pre-patch, because I mean, to take a territory now, you have to be good. Like you have to be like double the kills, double the damage, double the healing, better strategy, and it's that's like the ultimate brag, right? I mean, Onion Gang took Everfall. That's huge. That's kind of like the dream.
You should have heard our fucking comms.
Yeah, I'm sure it just sounded like fucking chimpanzees hanging from the vine.
Pretty much.
But yeah, Moats and Hoes, we're active. We got a lot of people on doing PvP all the time. Some of you might have seen me in OPR healing or whatever, but I don't know, man. We're looking to push wars every week. It's just fucking hard.
Anything from Gaggle Meats?
Well, obviously we're starting to push more.
Yeah. You guys push CK, right?
Yeah, we pushed CK. We just did a couple weeks ago. We pushed CK too, but no, we same as Moats. We came into the war. We actually pushed First Light. Technically day 1. Well, we did the war in First Light. Day 2, and also obviously you can tell Purple didn't get it, so it didn't go well. And so we kind of did the same thing. We laid low. We decided, all right, well, what's the meta? What we gotta get on this. So we spent a long time just gearing everyone out, getting our low levels up to speed with what we wanted them to do, and we just finally got to a point where we can start pushing. So we're starting to show our face a little bit more. I'm not going to give any promises about how any wars are going to go or anything like that, but we're testing the waters, seeing how things go.
Yeah, it comes down to attacking, and unfortunately, there's a kind of a substantial defensive advantage still. They haven't touched on.
Is, but I'm willing to take that chance.
Yeah, of course.
Just like if you win that before the patch, the bragging rights.
Yeah, true.
I mean, really, like wars are like 7,500, and I don't know, man. Like everyone wants to get really sweaty about a war because, like, at the end of the day, they want to get territory. But a conversation I actually had with Lethal
2 weeks ago or so. We're talking about war strategy, and at the end of the day, like I care less about getting a territory, and I care more about just getting better. Because like at the end of the day, like you can take a territory, right? And it could be like the planet's just aligned in a weird way, and everyone else just shat the bed, right? Like it could be like, oh, Kill Squad just shat the bed on Everfall, but like it's, you know, if you're not getting better, you're just gonna lose the territory. There's like you can target the broken company. You know, you can see like, oh, Kill Squad's disbanded and target yellow or like whatever, or you can go for Onion Gang, you know, or
and smash your head into a brick wall.
yeah, you know, it's you know, you can take the low hanging fruit, or you can just get better.
I think it's been proven that eventually bashing your head into a brick.
It works, you know, enough tries. It's like it's guaranteed, you know, like something will slip through the cracks, but
you know, there's also the chance of a metaphorical concussion.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes beating your head against the brick wall does not work.
Didn't that just happen?
Yeah, you'll burn out people.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
It's got real. Can we start talking shit again?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to start talking.
There's one thing in purple that's really amusing to me, and it's they keep on going over this premise of a Scrim War that I've never properly understood. Like I understood the thing of like giving people war experience and all that sort of thing, but
that's all it's for.
Scrim
really.
War, yeah, like a Scrim War, it doesn't seem right to me in a sense because like
what happens if you win? You just take
fair,
the territory,
exactly.
and it's like, oh,
it's a Scrim War as long as you're losing. Then as soon as you win, you're good. That's what it is, though. It's a way to protect your ego. It's 100% a way to protect your ego. That's it.
Guys, this is just for practice. In case
just for
we win.
practice. And then if you win, you're like, we fucking smoked you.
We took 2 points last week with just like people that we threw together, and it was kind of like just getting people who don't normally get into wars into the fray, and we got 2 points, and then we just dropped the ball on C because we were like, well, how the fuck did this happen? We weren't anticipating. Right? Yeah, we weren't anticipating.
We've been in that situation.
It was a Scrim War.
Yeah. We were anticipating getting into fucking C, and then like, you know, you're trying to tell everyone to get on bonfires, and they're like, you know, assed out. They don't know what the fuck. They're like, what's going on with that?
We had a similar situation when we first got into it in our first my first war with Onion Gang. When we finally got into Everfall, as soon as we got A, B, and C, we're like, all right, we're in the fort. That was it. We were like, what do we do? And then people just started like, I guess go to the back. Like, just fucking.
That was us at Monarch's Bluff. We had the solid strategy of like, yeah, we're getting them, and then we got to the fort and we're like, what do we do?
I remember the comms in Monarchs. Lethal was screaming because we got A so fast, and I'm all the way over on C, and all I hear is like, oh my god, we got A. A little bit more extreme than that. And it's like, let's go B. And then B got instant capped. And then it was like, oh my god, it's happening, guys. It's boys, it's gone. And we, you know, C took about 10 minutes, and then we got into the fort, and it was like, oh my god, what do we do now? What do we fucking do now?
It's one of those things that the wars rely so much on experience of wars in a sense, where you're going to learn a lot from doing wars. And I think that's why we do wars so much, and why everyone has told us that each war we go to, I wouldn't say we come back stronger, but we learn a lot and we try to adapt to it. And it's one of those things that only wars can really do that for you. You can have all the open world PvP you want in a sense, but the wars, at the end of the day, the wars are the most important things, and trying to learn and adapt and like perfect your craft in a sense on those things is something that is ultimately what you're trying to do in those scenarios, and that's why we war so much.
Now, hear the Treasury Pillagers tries to moneyball. Do you guys do analytics with your numbers, like damage numbers after war?
I mean, it's one of those things. It's a morale boost in a sense. I mean, seeing numbers and being like, I mean, we do keep numbers, and it's one of those things. Like when we first started and we got stomped and Everfall by Kill Squad, they outnumbered us extraordinarily, just crazy numbers compared to us. And it's starting to come to these wars where we're starting to put out more damage and we're starting to have more kills. And that's something that it's almost like a morale boost because it shows how close we are in a sense.
Numbers
It's
tell a
not
story,
something
bro.
to. It's not something that's saying like, oh, we're bad and we want to like prove that defensive advantage. That's not the case of it. It's the case of we want to have something to boost us and be like, we are improving, we are getting better. Here's the proof.
I have a question for TP though, and this might start some salt.
Okay.
Why are you guys so focused on going to the exploit? And then also, why am I getting shot through walls and trees by muskets?
Oh my god! I just had it.
Accusations.
Hold on, wait.
I actually want to know
man.
because I
got
have
a
to
guy.
ask because that actually is one of my biggest pet peeves in games when people flock to that or cheat. Like I can't stand that. Like
What
that's
exploit
literally.
are we
So,
talking
so
about?
you just asked that, and I literally had a guy who told me to ask Ghostly about specifically getting shot behind rocks. And why is it that everyone thinks that Peach Farmer has aimbot when they just don't know how to dodge?
It wasn't Peach Farmer in this case. If you want me to name drop, I can. But I'll tell you right now, I was healing.
Throw that name, son.
I was healing in that war, and I'm a shooter player. This is my first MMO. I get tagged by a musket twice. I try and line of sight them. I get behind a tree. I'm literally behind the tree. I get knocked, and I watch the musket shot go through the tree and double tap me. And then later,
Do you have the clip?
That's lag, son.
I was
Like, I don't
not.
know,
I was
man.
not recording at the time, but I'm telling you, like I'm standing still behind the tree trying to heal myself, and I get shot through the tree. And then later, I'm shot. I'm double tapped on the other side of the ramparts, and I watch the shot come over through the wall at me, and I'm just like, why is this?
That's
No,
not an
I'm
exploit.
sorry.
That's
It's like,
just client lag.
Yeah, but,
I don't
I've
agree
had
with
that. I've had
man.
that happen in OPR. I've had it happen in wars.
I really don't agree with
From
that
all
because then
colors.
I meet the guy in open world and we're having 1v1s and shit, and like he's not doing nearly as much damage or killing me as fast, and he's actually losing. Like I don't.
Is there even software though that can do that? I know there's
Yeah.
aimbots and whatnot, but
Yes,
is there
there
software
is.
that can actually do that? All right, just wondering.
I don't know,
Deleting
man.
trees and stuff? I don't know,
so
but
we have some super tight musket boys, and they get DMs from. I mean, we have names of people who
Oh,
have
yeah.
reported all of them, and it's. Dude, like we play these guys like every day, and they're 110% not cheating. I think people just really like don't. I think they just light roll in the same rhythm. Like I really think that's what they're doing. Like
there's going to be a defense and an argument either way, but I'll tell you right now, that's the first time I've ever been shot through a tree or a wall, and I've played this game a lot. I've fought muskets a lot. I have a musket build because I specifically wanted to be able to pull it out in open world in case there's a lot of musket players and I can return fire. And I have never been shot through walls and shit like that. And this game has been laggy for a long time. Like, I'm sorry, but especially when you're targeting someone, the healers, and you're shooting through the walls and shit, like, I've never had 17 deaths in a war. I had 17 deaths in that war. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's really sus. I'm sorry.
Like you could.
I mean, if you're gonna make accusations, you gotta name names.
Yeah, you could speak on having like aimbot on a musket.
I know who it is, baby.
You could speak on having aimbot on a musket.
It's not Peach Farmer. Peach. I didn't get killed by Peach Farmer once in that war. Also, like another thing about the exploits is the amount of Great Axe Ice Gauntlet. Like, come on, man. I'm seeing good players that are skilled that I fought in PvP. It's just annoying to me. Like, you know that's cheap. You're getting those damage ticks to basically do over 10k damage in a hit. Like, you're actively pushing to use a weakness in the coding of the game to try and win. I mean, it's actually cringe. I'm sorry. It's one of my biggest pet peeves in games, man.
Maybe I'm not paying attention, but I hardly ever see anyone like. I know that's like the thing that people were talking about doing. I haven't really seen anyone do it. So.
Do what? You cut out.
Ice Gauntlet Great Axe.
I've seen. I mean, I saw like I literally saw someone still doing Ice Gauntlet Great Axe in OPR today, but I also saw a bunch of new Hatchet people, which
yep.
everyone.
I wonder why they're doing that.
Uh-huh.
I wonder why.
Yeah. So for the uninitiated, I run Hatchet myself. I ran Hatchet for a while. What is this Hatchet Bugs? I haven't heard of it.
Okay. Don't tell him. Don't tell him. Don't.
I'll swip. No.
We caught you in 4K.
No, I didn't know what you guys were talking about.
He's fucking lying.
So-
I don't care what nobody's saying. Look at his face show. He's
No,
fucking
actually, I
lying.
didn't even know.
So Ghostly, real
I
quick,
was
somebody
confused what you meant by the hatchet thing when you asked
somebody
about
DM'd
that.
me, and apparently there's multiple trees that do not get rendered in this game if you stand a certain distance away. Not every tree, but there are multiple trees that just don't render in apparently.
Okay, well that could be fair, but what about the ramparts when I'm
Oh, I have
knocked
no
on the other
idea. I'm
side
just
of it
saying,
and I'm
someone
shot
DM'd
and
me.
I'm literally
Well,
not
evidently-
looking around. And
Evidently, there's certain ramparts that also don't load into the game.
Yeah.
And there's different walls, and there's everything that's an excuse. But
Dude,
there's absolutely no shot anyone's cheating in the game. And
Dude,
Oku's
what's
is the
your,
best shot by a lot.
What's your ping, son? I mean, do you live in Peru? Like, what's the
No.
what's the ping
no,
there, dude?
my ping is around like 30, 40. It fluctuates between I don't know. It fluctuates between like 15 to 40 typically.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I see the clips. Like we have people like share like musket clips sometimes, and they're like being accused of aimbotting, etc. I mean, everyone has people in their company where
We had one
That
guy
happens
use a
too,
musket
but,
one time, and they were like, "He's aimbotting," and I was like, "This is his first day using a musket.
I don't.
He's an FPS
like-
player."
It's typical shooter behavior. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like
Tell him to swap
I've
to bow and see how it works out.
I don't know.
I'm just telling you, I've never been shot through walls and trees. That was the first time, and that's why I'm mad about it because it's literally the first time it's ever happened. And I've fought muskets a lot in this game. Like even when they were OP and they had to nerf them, like in OPR and shit. Like, oh man, I don't know.
Can I ask another question though? Out of this whole group, how many of you actually have pants on?
Oh, dude, yeah, I got pants on.
I
so
do. Yeah.
I got pants on, dude. It's called
Lou, you got
fashion.
something to tell us?
Pajama pants, bro.
All right,
bro.
my bad, Joe. I was kind of touching myself and shit, and I didn't want to be alone. And I guess everybody else has pants on. And that's cool and shit, but I thought we all agreed that since it was chest up, that we didn't have to wear pants.
Yeah, it was on the leader chat, but I'm glad you guys don't read it.
Vladimir Gutin just did the weirdest thing I've ever seen, and it's a little delayed on your stream, but you definitely just tried to show your bulge to everybody. That was because I can see the way you were standing, you were pushing your hips.
All right. Lou, do you have an actual question
No,
regarding New World?
I raised my knee, dude. It was a pose.
Oh, okay. It was the Captain Morgan
It
pose.
was a pose, son.
All right, well, so I do want to touch on something. It's kind of like a very broad question, and it's mostly the state of the weapons. If anybody wants to
Weapon
go.
swap bugs pretty fucked up. Void
Wait,
Gauntlet's
no,
strong.
not bugs, no. So yeah, I mean, personally, go ahead, Kevin.
Oh, sorry. Somebody brought up a good point yesterday about this. This kind of it involves all the weapons. That this is one of the only MMOs that they had played where they, what did they say? They could try all the classes without actually having to make a new character. And so
Yeah.
I think being able to do that with the weapons is something that it's got going from. I love the weapons. I love the variety and the fact that you don't have to switch or make new characters just to try all the builds in the game. Like I can
you do that in
heal
Final Fantasy
in a way.
14.
Can you? This is my first MMO, so I don't know. I'm not familiar with it.
You can't do it in WoW. Like WoW's, you have to make a new
I thought it
character,
was a
level
great
it to
plan as far
60
as the
just to
weapons
find out if it's good or not.
It's definitely a lot
Pretty sweet.
easier in this game, right? Because you can level up a weapon to 20 in like a day, 2 days.
Yeah.
But in Final Fantasy 14, if you want to like level up like a whole new class, it's a bit of a grind.
Mm-hmm.
So it's less plug and play in other games than it is in this game. It makes it easier to experiment, which is nice.
Yeah, I swapped a spear for PvE. That was fun.
Yeah, that's one
And
thing.
now Nate's fucking holding me to it.
I'm gonna go do a line of coke real quick. I'll be right back.
God damn it, Luke. Stupid.
No, that's
Alright,
one thing I liked about this game too. But one thing I don't like is I mean, it's kind of the fault with all games. There's always a meta, and I'm a spear player. I love the spear the first time I played it, and I got me to level 60 and played it a little longer than I should have. And it has its place, but right now in wars, unfortunately, like maybe there's a select few people that have figured it out. But there's certain weapons you just don't see used as primaries. That'd be super cool to see used as primaries in like more than one situation. Because at this
Which
As
point,
weapons
I
would you
only
like
feel
to see?
comfortable running spear in dungeons, and that's it.
As a healer, I fucking hate spears. So
Agreed.
I think that people should use spears more.
I mean, in single engagements, it's nice.
I think
But,
spear
like,
is crazy for meta, for wars.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy strong right now.
Mm-hmm. I think you guys should slot more of Nate and his gaggle
There are
of
some individuals,
spears.
yeah. But like the ease of just like grabbing a great axe, throwing a grab well, a maelstrom, it's just like I don't know.
Or
It's
what
too
do you
easy.
what do you think about the nerf coming up to Great Axe to, or the rework of Gravwell?
Going to be useful.
I mean, a second and a half and you're out of it.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of sucks. I mean, that was like the reason why a lot of people even kept Great Axe as their secondary. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like Gravity Well was so good to keep people on respawns, and it's literally like a tickle.
Like damage wise?
No, not damage wise, CC wise. I mean, all the footage in PTR. It's like you literally like you get caught in a grab well and you just walk out.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean, or you. So that's the thing. Like, I listen. I don't want them to fucking nerf like they're doing, or rework. But if you get, if you throw a gravel and it sucks them in, and then they slowly walk away, then you have to go in and do something about it, right? So like, it could end up being okay. Trust me. I wish that they didn't fucking touch it, and I could still, catch huge clumps and continue fucking smashing these clumps. But
Yeah, but
I
it
don't know.
makes it so
I'm
that
split.
the support players have to chime in faster and be more on point with when the grab wells get thrown, and so having that 1 second to 2 seconds to get out could either be really good or really bad, regardless of how it's thrown. It's just a matter of how your team plays it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you could always throw another one, right?
There's always another one.
Gravwall is too strong right now. It definitely needed a nerf.
But the Void Gauntlet is completely fine. There's nothing broken with
Totally
that.
fine.
The Void Gauntlet
They actually-
also.
I actually, with the Void Gauntlet, I personally think everything is fine with it except the Void Blade.
You think they need to nerf it, or
no? They gotta do something about it. It's a problem. Like the lunge on it is crazy. The damage.
I think Void Blade is one of the most useless things to run in a war, though.
Yeah.
Like using Void Blade in a war is almost like negative because you can constantly just get CC'd out of it. And speaking of, you can just accidentally cancel it if you press whatever ability.
Press it a second time too fast.
Yeah. I mean, as TP, I mean, where we don't have very many people that run Void Blade just because of it. Just doesn't seem that useful in the case. Like we tried it out when it first came out in a sense, and trust me, in my PvE set, I rock Void Blade. I ran OPR with Void Blade, and that thing's funner than anything to do. But in reality, with how much CCs and the current state of wars, with how everything is, it just doesn't seem as useful.
It definitely is. When you got people in your backline going against a healer that has a Void Blade, a healer with a Void Blade could kill
a healer with a Void Blade is a stupid healer because you should run Rapier at all costs.
I think there's a couple different styles of healing, though. I don't think that's necessarily true. I understand the Rapier aspect for escaping.
Yeah, how'd it work for you?
Right,
Rapier for escaping is nice, but like if you're actively attacking someone who's jumping on you, you're not healing.
Yep.
So it's that's not your job.
So I chased Nightmare around for 2.5 minutes after that war.
Kill me, dude.
I will.
You
Eventually.
should be able to get away with a Rapier. And if someone's just so dedicated, like Scav here, the more you're making someone run, the less healing they're doing at the end of the day.
Well, listen, you guys know the old 40 method, right? Like the best healer is the healer that nobody knows, right? Like it doesn't matter if you're heavy with a hammer or you're Void Blade, like what Draco was saying, or like if you're Rapier, like Nightmare. And the best healer is the one you don't know, right? Like once you get a reputation as a healer, like people are going to try to chase you down.
Yep.
The name aggro is real.
I want to say Buzza is my arch nemesis in OPR, by the way.
Buzza is a menace.
Just wanted to say, Buzza, if you're watching or listening, I fucking hate you.
You know how many times that I've seen him?
Yeah, fuck you, Buzza.
He's on the opposing team, and I'll just sit there and just watch him work. Dude is so fast.
He's really he plays his hatchet like assassins in League of Legends. Like
I will say, Buzza's from our company, and he's been
Buzza
using
is
hatchet,
a fucking problem.
He gets in and gets out, and if he doesn't get a kill, he goes back in about 15 seconds. Like he plays hatchet like an assassin, and it's scary because he literally lunges out from the side of my screen while I'm healing, and it's fucking terrifying. It's like I'm literally like like it startles me, dude.
A jump scare.
Yeah, literally.
I was gonna say, speaking of lunges, the Void Blade's a very good way to get from point A to point C.
Oh hell yeah!
Unless they
It's
fixed that
ridiculous.
recently, but that should.
They did fix the dash.
Yeah.
Oh, they did. So what
Yes.
weapons do you guys want to see more often used in war, besides fire staff? Because obviously that's coming.
Definitely musket bow. I feel like that
Dex-
they should use
Dex
more of.
weapons in general.
I think
You know,
bow
it's-
is quite strong in war. It's just you have to be good about hitting your AoEs.
Before we came to this server, we actually at Vadabar, bows were pretty fucking good. Like they
Yeah,
were
you guys
really
had
useful in war.
you guys had a Dex mage meta, right?
Yep.
No, we had one Dex mage. What was his name? Young Deus.
No, I'm saying
Yeah,
like
it was all
a
Dex and
Yeah, it was
mages.
all. It was all
yeah, like a
a
bunch of
lot
Dexes
Dex.
and a bunch of mage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
got fucked up when you came to
Yeah,
fucking.
bro.
Yeah,
When we
it's
first
rough.
started fighting you guys coming from other servers where it seemed like Dex was super popular, like, yo, are they wearing fucking armor? Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is going on here?
Yeah.
Bunch of heavy
Back in the-
bruisers
You know-
running around.
The point remains that the Dex mage meta is way more fun than the tank
Oh, hell
meta.
yeah.
Way more fun.
100%.
Oh, of course. Tank meta is just fucking walk in and hit everything in your face and left click.
So what I'm saying is Onion should go into the light mage Dex meta.
Oh yeah,
and
we'll
we
be
can
right
draw
there.
it out in real wars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
do it.
I
Yeah,
don't
we're
mean
on
to big up old ghosts, but Ghostly, I have a musket boy that wants me to tell you that even if your hand is sticking out, you can still be hit. So are you sure that you're totally behind a wall? Because he shoots arms all day, apparently.
I don't know, man. I don't have a clip either way. I didn't record it, so I just on my screen I'm getting shot through trees, and then later I'm literally getting shot through
Yeah.
the rampart when I'm knocked on the other side of it, and I can't see the person at all.
I feel like Ghostly's gonna come out of this with a bunch of name aggro from musket users.
Ghostly
That's
gets
fine.
name aggroed
That's
already.
fine.
You think he needs any
It's
more,
fine.
bro?
Yeah.
He's
I
fucking
don't-
used to it.
Honestly, I
Same.
welcome it. If anyone wants to fight, I welcome it. And honestly, I'm not trying to like say I'm better than everyone else. I just love PvP. Honestly, this is my first MMO. If this game didn't have the end game PvP content it has, I would have already stopped playing it. So I
Listen, to
welcome
be
fights. I
fair,
think they're fun, and I think people can fight without being toxic to each other. So
Is that why
that's
you
what I
didn't
think.
show up for First Light World PvP?
Bro, honestly, I'll admit I stayed up way too late and I slept all day, so I wasn't even
You
around
know,
for
you
it.
got two excuses, Ghostly. Number one is you got numbers, and number two is it's late. Come PvP us.
And you know,
First Light.
he didn't go to the 5v5 tourney either.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't have some of my boys online, so I didn't want to enter. It's as simple as that.
Hey man,
That's
you
what
got
happens.
numbers.
What does that mean? I don't understand.
You can bring anybody.
that's not how
I
it
mean,
works.
honestly, like,
5-man.
We've been doing a lot of pushing lately. Also, I wasn't online at the time you guys were pushing, which is fine. Honestly, we welcome wars. If you guys want to meet us in the battlefield, that's fine. And if we lose, we're still gonna have fun with it. We're not gonna get discouraged. We'll probably push it back, like when we lost First Light, and then we took it back. I
In
mean,
13 minutes.
I thought that was
so
Onion.
good push.
honestly, it was. I mean, we're always looking for content. We're always looking for fun. I mean, that's just.
I
what
mean,
we do.
in all honesty, in my opinion, like as TP well, I can't really say as TP as I view it of Fable. I mean, Fable is one of those green companies where they're the first to hop in when it comes to any world PvP. Like the last podcast after we had that CK like battle between all three factions, that was insanely fun. Those Fable boys, they were quick to the chase there. I mean, they were on top of it. That's one of those things that it's respectable to see a company that brings the numbers like that, because at the end of the day that shows that they do have that active members and their power. And that's one of those things that I've always personally liked about Fable, is that they have the numbers and they're willing to show up to everything.
I gotta turn off the camera 1 second, but I'm still here.
Fair enough.
Yo, honestly, like,
you
here's the
made the
thing.
man cry and he had to turn the camera.
Yo, but
No,
here's
there's
the
someone.
thing, though.
Someone came home, and I don't want to, just let them. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
The one thing I'm going to say is, like, the crazy thing is, like, all right, so yes, will we as Onions fight in wars with Fable? Of course. Does Fable fight in Onion wars from time to time? And more recently, yes, right? But, like, so if Fable wins a war, then Onion won it. But if they lost a war, did Onion lose it? Or how does that work? Just so I know for the future.
I think it, depends on the percentage of the roster that is or is not Onion. It's sort of a Ship of Theseus sort of situation. When you replace the entire roster with Onions, is it still a Fable roster, or has it become an Onion roster?
So
Well,
I
it's
will
also
say
the
this.
war plan, because whoever's war it is going to come up.
What
with a plan
point
to finish it.
of the roster, what percentage of the roster becomes an Onion roster?
Literally,
60% is a solid number.
Nah.
Yo, so honestly, in wars with Fable, they're the most inclusive to all the green companies. Like in a Fable war, you're going to see basically every active green company, even like whatever one. Like I'm pretty sure Alliance ad lane at this point is just a whole bunch of gold selling bots because I've never spoken to any of them until English at this point. But like they would basically slot any green, right? So like they are the most inclusive, and if anything, Onions have the least amount of spots in a Fable war.
So
I don't think that's true.
It's 100%.
Maybe recently. I will say
my-
recently that might be the case.
in my personal opinion, if I'm in a war against Fable, right, and all I have to see is Scav, it's an Onion war. I don't
Yo,
know
at least he's
why.
honest.
True.
As soon as I see
Just
Scav, I'm
just
like,
Scab
oh,
Yeah.
alone
war.
makes
Yeah.
it an onion.
He's the face of fucking Onion because he's the streamer, you know. So if we see Scav, it's like, this is the Onion war.
No, my thoughts. I
Always the first
see
one.
whoever declared, whoever is actually the name on the end, because I'm gonna bring up some more salt. Maybe a month ago or a couple more than that. There was a Eben scale war where the wrong Art of War company, not the NA, the two. They had, what was it, 4 or 5 of their guys,
Yeah.
and then 45 onions.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Was that an
100%.
onion victory or onion loss, or was that an Art of War loss? Because not
What was
NA.
that?
Sorry.
Lou, I'll let you speak on that because technically I'm here as a not onion.
Lou, were you there?
Lou went to
I don't know,
step
did I
away.
scare him away with that question.
He's growing a tail
So-
on the toilet.
So we about a month ago, we started actively looking for a bard for our company. Okay, someone to follow us around and sing. That was our bard's war. So he said, "Hey, Lou, you're back. Perfect."
Did you
What'd
hear
I
the
do?
question?
Did you
Yeah,
miss my question?
There was
Yeah,
a
ask it
question
again, ask it
asked
again.
to you, brother.
Oh no, I wasn't here. I was doing more cocaine. What's going on?
Oh, so about a month or two ago, I can't remember when it was, but it was on the topic of how many onions have to be in the war for it to be an onion loss. And you guys
What does it mean more?
helped out this company called Art of War 2, the fake Art of War.
Oh, there
we're
was
gonna call them.
48 of us, I think.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, there was. I could have sworn there was 4 of them, but if there's only 2 of them, that's fine. But is that an onion victory or onion loss? Because you had the numbers.
Oh no, we didn't lose that. They did, of course. What do you mean?
Yeah,
So
that's,
it's
that's a loss for
and
purple
voter
again,
defense.
by the way.
There was 2 of them. That was a purple loss, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Lou, did who was shot calling that? Was it purple or green?
Okay, so that was weird. I'm just going to speak freely. Okay, so we didn't really trust the guy, and I personally I don't trust a lot of people because trust is earned kind of deal, right? Like, so we left
We
him.
can talk about it, by the way. I know the guy. We can talk about it.
So we put him and his
he's
players
nice.
into their own group and didn't let them into our comms, and then stuck them on a point and then we did everything else ourselves. And we were like, yo, we're just gonna meme this thing. Bring whatever you want. We had flame spitters, normal guys that would run some shit had a spear. They look like Native Americans out of there. Like, so that war was definitely a meme war. But
To be fair, we had 5 ice pylons going around.
So that was a scrim war, since you guys.
Yeah, it was a
That's
scrim
what
war,
a
exactly.
war-
Yeah,
that's what a scrim war is.
we didn't lose. It was a scrim. It was a scrim.
Hey, we didn't lose.
Shout out to the Art of Warfare NA, the
Yeah.
state, a real one.
They're cool. We
Uh,
like
the
State
Art of
action.
Warfare 2, you know, we have some history, but
We-
you
we
know, Art
hate
of Warfare
that.
NA is
Friendship ended with Art of Warfare 2.
yeah, Art of Warfare NA is the official Art of War. You've heard it here first. Anyone else is a phony and a
Yeah.
fraud.
That's kind of fucked up, Ryan, to say that I put chapstick on every time because I do it after every time I drink. But I've been to some really fucked up places. I'm pretty sure I got herpes. So as long as I keep putting it on, I don't have an outbreak. But if I don't, then I'd have to miss a podcast.
Yeah, we can't. I mean, you have plenty of time in between podcasts, though. So
And if you guys don't have herpes, you really have no experience, right? Like you haven't been out there and like fuck you.
true.
Yeah, no
Nice.
puss.
All right, fair. All right, cool. Well, I mean, if anybody has any other topics that you guys want to talk about or bring up.
I have a topic.
Oh yeah, what's
What
up?
about Fable betraying their friends in Morningdale?
Fable betrayal.
What
The
friends?
Fable betrayal.
The Fable betrayal.
Friends.
Let's talk
Ghostly
about
Wolf, can you comment on this insult?
it. What do you got to say, buddy?
the way I look at it is all right. If you really wanna get down to the gritty of it, basically, it wasn't my suggestion. It was another council in Fable, and a lot of
Who
people
was
in
it?
Fable jump. I'm not gonna name drop, but
Oh, you're
the,
up dodging everything.
What are we here for?
What do you mean,
What are
Nightmare
we
and Dodge?
wasting our
Hold on.
time for?
Nightmare and Dodge 9 questions. Okay.
You know, I was almost
This
to
man
the
was
point of saying call
iframing-
him Knight because he'd be dodging.
Yeah, this man used 110 stamina to get out of his questions.
all right, no, like here. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm like the way I do things. I just tell shit straight up. I usually offend people, but at the end of the day, you're gonna get the truth. So another council in Fable suggested it. This was right after the war in First Light, the defense. We had everyone on Discord still. The idea was floated, and a ton of people were enthused about it. So, and I was indifferent about the push. The way I looked at it is like if that's what the Fable as a whole wants to do, then that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna sit here and try and put my foot down and say we're not doing that, especially when there's so much enthusiasm for that action. So I let it go. I suggested pushing a different territory, and most of them weren't about it. So as a group, we decided to go push Morningdale.
Do you think you were undermined by your council?
No, I don't think I was undermined by council. I have their backs 100%. If I'm indifferent about something and they really want to do it, and I have their back most of all, I'm gonna go along with it because it's Fable, and we protect our own. We stay together. Like that's what
Listen,
we do.
I'm gonna say it from
also,
a green point of view. They took option 3. Dead Poets chose option 3. That's all.
Yeah, and the thing is like, sure, you know, Dead Poets and ZMC, they were friends with us while they were still in green. But I mean, at the end of the day, we need to push other territories. First Light does not make any money; it's actually losing money now, and that's probably because of the server population. It used to be making decent money, but now it's making nothing. So we have to push something else. There's no purple territories to push. So what else are we gonna do? Especially when we have people that are PvP focused and want content. I mean, that's just what we're gonna do. So
There's Restless Shores.
You can always push Hand of Antioch, you know, whatever
True.
you want to do.
You know, so Restless Shores is actually a funny one, right? So,
Oh, this is a great
I'm going to
story.
pull a ghostly route on here, and I'm not going to name any names, but some of you are in here, right? And we reached out to a bunch of purple companies, and we're like, here's the deal, bro. If you push with TP, we're pushing your shit in, right? But the problem is purple only has one territory. So fucking Hannah Antioch was running missions for TP in Everfall, right? So we were pushing it back. We're like, oh, if you keep running missions, we're pushing Restless Shores. Bro, that was a 2-hour fucking conversation with the fucking leader of that company after that, dude. It was a fucking nightmare. But same thing happened with another person here. We reached out to him to attack a certain place that might be under attack. So it's like everybody kind of picks an option is the way we look at it. We think it's like, hey, so we just want to be on the same page. Option 1 is merge into us. Option 2 is just be like non-aggressive towards us. Or option 3, we're pushing your shit in. And, you know, same thing happened in Warrendale. They picked option 3. So, like, I really appreciate, you know, what Ghostly's doing. Like, actions have consequences, not to sound like a dick, but it's also the game. Like, all you guys are probably dope as fuck, right? If we all go out, we can have drinks, do coke together, or whatever. But,
okay.
like,
not
in the game,
100%.
if we don't have content, you know,
Not
what's
100%.
the point?
What's up with the coke, dude?
It's fucking Saturday night, bro.
It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor.
Saturday night.
It's a metaphor for go out and touch grass.
So like the way I see it is too is like, you know, if the thing is like we're looking for content, and like it's a different color, right? So
Yeah, it's a game.
yes, we've worked together in the past, even when they're yellow green. I mean, I've literally been on yellow defense, and we've had Fable in key roles versus Onion Gang. So things change. The political scope is always changing. It's an ever evolving equation, but at the end of the day, it's like we don't need to be down each other's throats and actually salty and mad about stuff all the time, especially when it's just a game. Like, honestly, I like fighting good players and people that are considered my friends. I think it's fun.
I'll get drinks with you.
I'm going
Nate.
to defend myself when people start becoming toxic. And maybe that will be perceived as myself being toxic, but I'm not going to sit here and just take it lying down. Like, I'm going to stand up for myself.
What's considered being toxic, right? So, like, I find it funny to teabag somebody, and I find it funny when I get teabagged when I die. What's the toxic thing? Like, what do
You
you
got
mean by
that kill though, so you
The
can
slow
teabag. That's like
teabag. The slow
ultimate-
teabag
that's
is
not
toxic.
Yeah, like,
teabag
it's
is
just,
fine.
you know,
But
just-
it's when you're
it's
attacking a
toxic.
person, when you're
Like, when
when
things
your
go
own
personal.
insecurities come out in the game, and then
Ah.
you're attacking the person, which
Yes.
has nothing to do with the game.
In
Yeah.
area
Like,
chat.
that's where it starts to become toxic because it's not the
Gotcha,
game
gotcha.
anymore. It's just, you know what I mean?
That's where a
Yeah.
lot of the rivalry with like Unslotted when you guys first came over to the server, for example, like First Light Fort is very desirable because it lowers the Azoth cost. But our fort would constantly be under attack, and then we would see Unslotted out there, we would see Purples out there, and then there would always be some area chat garbage that would appear after someone died or lost. There'd be like an excuse why you died, or there'd be like, oh, get shit on or whatever. And that type of stuff is just that's what annoys me, and then also that provokes me to return the same kind of treatment.
Well, if you don't want people to
That's
tell
not-
you got shit on, you probably should avoid getting shit on.
dude. Like,
Yeah, but people start attacking like personal character and stuff too. It's just like the area chat things after engagement.
We
are
don't
just,
talk about that.
Like
We
the
ain't bringing
teabag
that
is
up.
funny to me, and also the new teabag is push-ups. By the way, after you knock them, you gotta do push-ups on them.
didn't buy that
But-
yet,
So,
but I feel like
what I don't get is why people complain about things that they also do. Like if you're going to have an argument that something shouldn't be done in the game, you can never do it. If you want to take the moral high ground, you and your whole company or anyone that you run with effectively, they can't do it ever. And the second they do or that you do it, you lose any argument of other people shouldn't do this.
Well, that goes,
I only did
that's
it
like the
'cause it
whole
happened to me
exploiting
first.
thing, right?
Yeah,
Anybody
but Fable
did
doesn't
it.
talk shit in global that much, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
Ghostly is pretty well, like, he just goes and fights anybody. Like, those guys are savages. Like, our relationship has come super tight in the last few weeks. Like, and it's mainly because Ghostly, like, we chill with him every night and shit. And, like, we actually chill with you every night, right? But, like, they don't talk shit in global like that. Like, they just go out there, fight, bang out, and win or lose, right? I mean, he's going to give it back to you if you try to give it to him. Like, if you're going to talk shit to him, he's going to say the same shit back. But he takes a non-toxic approach, in my opinion.
I don't think things should be taken personal, but if you get mopped up, like it's kind of funny to like talk a little bit of shit, but just things can't just get thrown out of proportion, you can't be sensitive and I don't know.
Any time that it devolves to like
Yeah, if it's
like
personal,
somebody said
like-
personal attacks, like
Yeah.
you've taken this too far. It's a game, bro.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that 98% of the people that say that shit, they would never do that in person. None of them.
Exactly.
right?
No, thank
And
you for
like
the follow.
I'm telling you right now, I've gotten
MMG,
DMs from
thank
people
you.
that I've killed, and it's like I've never talked to them in DMs before, and like it's literally like you're trash, and that's how it all starts, shit like that. And I'm not gonna name drop, but there's been plenty of instances where, because I'm in a leadership position in Fable or whatever, and we fight and have an engagement, I start getting DMs from people that are just derogatory and mean. It's just like
That's
I'm
part,
not
that's
really
a part of the
willing to name
game, bro.
names.
That's the nature, though. If you're in,
Yeah,
if
call
you're
them
in
out.
leadership, bro, I'm governor Dunder Mifflin, bro. I get messages all the time. Like that's a part of the territory.
Kevin,
Anyways,
the mug, baby.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
Get your mug,
you got
baby.
the office mug.
There's something that
Yo.
should say. I mean, there could be.
Oh, wait, hold on a sec. I'll be back. Good.
There could be pure toxicity between. I mean, at the end of the day, like wars. Whenever wars are over between TP and Onions, like we can talk shit a storm. Like let's say that we got into their fort. Good old X-Laws will still put in chat, you guys lost. Sucks to suck. And it's one of those things that it's like, it's a tilting thing to see, but it
That's
also is
fucking
fun in a
hilarious.
sense. It's fun in a sense because it gives the motivation of, God, I want to beat this kid so bad.
100%. Yo, listen, that's why we loved Kill Squad so much. Like, yeah, did we lose to them and did we beat them sometimes? Yes. But, like, they made us better. And it's like, at this point from Onion and, like,
100%.
TP, right? Like, we make each other better, whether we like each other or not. And, like, I got mad respect for you guys now. So, like, you don't quit. You just keep coming and coming and coming. And, like, that's what we love. So, like, talking shit to each other, if we didn't, the game would be fucking boring.
Yo,
to be
SB,
honest
my
with you.
man,
But, like,
thank you, brother.
It's
I
nothing but
appreciate it.
respect.
Yeah.
And
Thank
that's
you,
the thing
thank you,
is that
thank you
you
for the
want
gifties.
the competitiveness in a server. You don't want it to be I saw something on Reddit where it said that there was a server on New World that was an RP server, and
Get the
there's
fuck outta here
no
with this
way
shit.
in hell that I could join an RP server and just like not have the competitiveness of it. And that's the thing is that the competitive aspect of it is the thing that makes it enjoyable to me. And at the end of the day, I want to be the best that I can be, or I want my company to be the best that we are. And to do that is just constantly having to
Yo, SB, thank you, brother. I
get better.
appreciate it, my man.
And I think
Thank you
that
for the love.
once
Yo, Twitch Prime.
if there's no competition like we have on Bidblade, that's when it starts getting boring.
100%. I agree with you, and I like everything you just said because, like, if your company's not pushing to be the best they can possibly be, what you do is you hit G and you go to company, you hit withdraw, and you slide it all the way to the right, and you pull all the gold out and start your own.
Imagine playing
There
a
it
game
is.
to have fun. Unbelievable.
Yo,
Nah.
Kevin, peep my stream real quick, because I'm holding up a fucking Dundee right now.
Are you really?
Yeah,
Hold on, I'm on
I
the
got a
screen,
fucking
but it's a
Dundee.
delay.
Yeah, I know. It's
That
there.
is
Don't worry.
beautiful.
And big
Yeah,
shout out to
never even
SB
thought of
Boar,
that.
right? SB Boars. Big shout out to those 5 gifted subs. you
Yeah,
put
SB's
in.
a homie.
Thank
What
you
is
so
the
much, bro.
Dundee?
It's just a Dundee. It doesn't have
It's
to be
just a
for
Dundee,
anything.
bro?
Yeah, it's just a
Busiest
Dundee,
beaver?
bro. Yeah, it's best streamer in Zuvendis.
Yo, honestly,
Oh,
in
so you
all-
got that use a word?
Yeah, my wife got
Oh.
it for me.
all in all, I'm really grateful that my server merged into this server, into a PvP like prominent fucking server where we actually want to compete against each other and we're open world PvPing.
Oh yeah,
100%. Look, it's not Eden, right? With all due respect, but like we compete and we go out there and fight, and like I think that we have a really good dynamic, and I think that all the companies
Yeah.
like together, like we fight each other. Like this ain't
Yeah.
some fucking RP shit, bro. Like we fight all
Yeah.
day, every day, and that's the one thing I hated about Mutations is it took a little bit of the fight away
Oh, it
because
took
everybody's running
everything
dungeons.
away. Dude, you couldn't queue up an OPR. It was terrible. It's not a good time.
No, I would say,
So
like-
real quick, can I make can I plug real quick or no? I'm gonna do it anyway. Yo, so if you're in chat right now and you play on Zuvendis and you level 60 and you got a bow and you like fighting corrupted, I'm gonna need you to sign up for the Everfall Invasion. That's what we're doing after the stream, right? We're gonna defend Everfall. So go ahead and sign up for that thing. We'd really appreciate you.
The shameless plug.
Unslotted invasion team, best invasion team, no question about it.
Hey,
Bro, you want to
to
get people in invasions? Give them Umbral Shards. That's all they need to do.
That's a fucking
Umbral
great
Shards.
idea.
That is a
actually.
really
Umbral
good
Shards
idea.
for
Great
invasions
idea.
and wars.
It's a really good idea.
Crossbow, that's how they keep it. Because
It's really
invasions,
funny
man, we
because-
slotted 45 the last invasion. It was,
When we were in Bidblane and we owned territories, we always constantly were doing invasions and like doing strategy and all that because everyone was like not as stacked as they are now. So like invasions were a little bit more difficult. And we were talking about this as a company the other day. I don't think any of us has really touched an invasion since Bidblane. Because of course
You
we
don't
know
care?
territory or purple's not that like big into it, but it's also one of those things that it's like invasions are kind of boring in a sense, like without any true reward, and
Yeah, but
that's why
it's-
Umbral Shards is a big factor there.
Yeah, because it's not like the chest you get from it justifies it, right? Like, and some people, so listen, so all of us are talking about fighting each other, and like we bang out, and everybody in here, like we've seen an open world PvP, like all of you have killed me, right? Besides the people on green. But at the same time, some people really do love the PvE aspect of it, and they live for the invasions, and I don't think that they get rewarded appropriately because an invasion is harder than a war from a defending perspective, right? Like, does that make sense? Like, an invasion is harder than defending against 50 people most of the time.
Someone in chat wants to know what you guys think about mutated invasions.
with the increase in Umbral Shards per
Ugh,
mutation.
Mutations
Sure.
are already terrible.
But if the mutated invasion got higher, if you didn't clear the corruption in your area, would make it more likely to help newer players push corrupted out of the area. I think would make sense.
I mean, in a sense as well, isn't it like you get a benefit if you do participate in an invasion, but isn't an invasion a strategy tool as well? If like green, let's say Everfall gets an invasion, it makes that territory owner spend more money on their own territory if they lose it in a sense. So it could be part of a strategy sense, but in a sense as well that like I could care less about the strategy. If you're going to give me Umbral Shards for it, I'm going to be at those things.
So what he
Yeah.
just said is TP deliberately doesn't show up to Onion invasions because they want to see the city get downgraded, so we spend more money.
Well, I
Totally.
still think we should be
Unreal.
able to fill our own invasions instead of just 10 out of 50.
Sure.
No, but I
And
respect
it's
that
one of those things that
100%. Like,
there's no real reward to doing them, and that's the truth.
Yeah, you
That
get a
is the
box. You get a box of something you get to salvage, right?
Yeah, Obi-Wan, somebody just said something about different types of enemies in invasion. Wouldn't it be cool to see like an
Instead of
ancient
just
invasion
corrupted.
or
Yeah,
just corrupted all the time? It's kind of
you kind of know what's coming.
you know?
Yeah.
Especially if you have to play in an invasion, if you have a settlement, like those things are. It's like chores, you know. Like you got to do it, you know.
you're 100% right about that. Like, and you'd have to have different sets and like set yourself up. I think that makes a
Yeah.
ton of sense, honestly.
Yeah, but then they can't be called the corruption, right? The corrupted
I'm
are
not
invading.
sure that I find being forced to make another set of gear specifically for each enemy type really all that interesting as a gameplay mechanic.
100%, but some people do like the PvE. Like, some people don't like the
Yeah, some
PvP
people
part
live
of this
for it.
game. Like, some people
Collectors,
do
bro.
like the PvE, right? Like, so like we have to look at all aspects of the game because originally, right, in alpha, like you couldn't unflag, right? Everybody was flagged all the time. And as the game progressed and like all the bots go on Reddit and they're like, you have to make this PvE friendly so we could sell gold. Like it became more PvE friendly, and some people like doing that shit. So give them more of a task to do, I think is what we're saying. Like I personally, I don't like invasions. Like I'm a melee guy. Like it's not a waste of time, right? But it's like it doesn't interest me. But some people love that shit, and I don't hate them for loving it. But at the same time, like make it a little more challenging in reference to preparation. If that makes sense.
So like personally, I came from WoW PvE. I didn't really enjoy doing PvP. But then when I got here, like I was like all hyped up for the PvE to show up, and then I ended up falling in love with the PvP. I fucking hate the PvE now. I rant about it all fucking day.
All right. As interesting as this has all been, I thought there was going to be more salt. So I will see you guys later.
There's been no salt because everybody's dodging every single question.
I mean, start some salt.
I got a question.
I've been trying.
Throw it at me.
A question for me, or
I got a question for Shaw. Shaw, why do you have 2 hours left on your chess move?
Hold up.
You're a fucking coward. That's exactly what that fucking means, dude.
Real quick,
it's been 22 hours. 22 hours.
This past week in Salt Chat has been very bad. I want to see a pickup. I need to see X-Los in there. This upcoming week. This guy just disappeared. He thinks he could just get up and leave us. So we need to get him back in Salt
Bro,
Chat.
same.
This guy's unreal, man.
This man left us.
Yo, but you should. All right, I'm gonna throw some salt on my own company. All right, that motherfucker's so pretentious, right? That when he decided to quit the game, we had to have a company meeting so you could tell everybody he's quitting the game, dude. It was the fucking wildest shit I ever seen in my life.
Hi, man. Just ups and leaves us.
No, but he's a great player and he's a great leader. He's been with our community a long time. But 40's one of his own. I think the best thing is in the last podcast, somebody said in chat, fucking 40 has a fragile ego. That shit's funny as fuck to me.
I think if there was any sort of like territory swap as well, like if we're to Onions to lose one of their wars or any sense of that, that would bring a lot of I wouldn't say salt, but a lot of like a little bit more of banter and all that in chats, which would be quite enjoyable. So like it's one of those things that eventually it will happen. But when it comes, like just right now, it's kind of stale because just the territories have been stale in general.
We just took Everfold like 10 days ago. What the fuck are you talking about?
And X-Los.
Yeah, you guys just got a whole fucking company.
Yes, but I'm saying as in like you guys treat it as an end game, and you guys are like, oh, we can quit now. Like
we did it.
But it's one of those things as well that like we're not far off from like you can say yes, you guys have lost every single time, but like we're pretty close on getting to you guys. Like we've gotten to the fort multiple times. Like we're getting close.
Yeah, no, it's a fight. It's a battle. You guys are good, without a doubt, right? Like, but it takes time for you to win, I guess.
Right. And it just takes experience. I mean, it's one of those things that you can't be in the fort every single time. So when you are in the fort, you have to value that experience because God, I don't know what the hell to do in a fort when it's like 3 minutes left, like you're trying to beat the respawn. So it's one of those things that once you get it, you have to almost value that experience, but you also want to win. And it's hard to do forts. Like if you let's say for instance, you push 3 points and there's only 2 minutes left in the game. How the hell do you do a real strategy in two minutes left in a game?
You don't, because I can't tell you ours, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to give away things, but there is definitely a strat to use when pushing forts. There's a very important things you need to do when you get inside there.
But no, what I'm saying is that like it's difficult because you can't go over the initial plan that you wanted to.
Yeah, so people are bringing up that we brought Bacon Socks into OG, so she has an army of words I can't say on TOS, right? And then somebody said Bacon joined who, which would be Onion Gang. All right, so super easy, right? We used to have a guy named Jackish who was super active, who still is playing with us, but more as like in a raid logging position. The one thing that we built our foundation off of is we had like one master crafter, for a lack of better words, that could do everything for $5.95 to $600. We get together, 1 or 2 nights a week, and we make everything. She was just a super good fit for it, right? Like she makes everything for everybody for free anyway. And it's a mutual benefit because 1, she's saving on taxes. And 2, we're the worst PvE company in the entire game. And we can't even maintain a city with buffs and shit. So at least with her pushing us to get buffs up that are appropriate, like that's what makes sense to us, right?
I've been on at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'll hear Doc bitching and moaning coming on and being like, "All right, Bacon, what do you want to upgrade next?" And everybody,
yeah. So instead, it's just a clear line of communication that benefits both of us. and you guys are saying a word I can't. Yeah, no, I do it. I don't give a fuck, bro. Like I'm in that shit. Like I'm gonna send straight DMs to Nate after this. I'm gonna ask for things. Like I want you to show me them things. You heard me?
Them thanks.
All right, if anybody's got any other topics, I think that's going to round it up for episode 2.
I ain't got
Listen,
shit.
just
Votes
make
out.
sure.
I got one last thing to say, which is quit dodging questions. Bring the
Alright.
salt.
I got one last thing. Just make sure Xlos is in Salt Chat. All right, that's all. That's my request.
We can
Did he
make that
leave
happen.
it, or did he? Yeah, I don't
Just
know.
make it happen. Dude doesn't talk in Salt Chat anymore.
Xlas.
It's 40, by the way. 40 ounce.
Big 40.
I used to call
I
him
like X-Laws better,
Zlaz.
so
All right,
Listen,
hey.
I'm gonna just say this real quick though. The group in here this week was a lot better than one that was there 2 weeks ago. So like, big shout out to you guys for coming out. Big shout out to chat for coming out. You guys were super active tonight. And we look forward to seeing you within 2 weeks again, Scav?
Yeah, probably.
All right, sign up for the Everfall Invasion. Push all the territories. Fight all the wars. Do all
Oh
the
yeah,
PvP,
before we go,
sniff all the coke. Drink all the alcohol, and have a good time.
before we go, where are we having fucking World War 9 tonight?
Ooh, let's talk.